let's get to some football. And I sometimes think that the football season begins with the first scrimmage. So that was held on Thursday. Cooper Mays was not a part of the practice, and he had been limited beforehand. First of all, let's just talk about Cooper Mays specifically, Fred. How important is he to this football team?
Very important, because he's this is a senior year. This is what, 5th year senior?
Yep.
That makes a difference, because the leadership, he understands what's going on the offensive line. He knows pretty much every position and what every guy's supposed to do. And being the center makes a difference too, because that center quarterback exchange is important. Anytime you change the center in a game or at any time, you got to get continuity with him and the quarterback. And I think that I hope he gets healthy quick, because we're going to need him first start of the season here.
No, I think you're right. And you said the chemistry between the quarterback and center is so important. Fred, how long does that take to develop? I mean, is that something you can't just pour some pixie dust, as Philip Fulmer used to say, and expect that to happen, can you?
No, you really can't. I think those things have developed over time. I mean, it's not something you can just plug and play. You can plug and play a lot of different positions, but that's one position that I don't think you can just plug and play. It's going to take some time. Look, usually when you see a center go down, when that next guy comes in, you'll see a few mishaps here and there. It's rarely that it's just a seamless transition, because it's a position that you gotta constantly snap the ball. You got to constantly understand what the quarterback's trying to get you to do, the cadence, making the calls at the line of scrimmage, and those type of things as well. You are the leader of that offensive line, and you got to be on the same page with your quarterback at all times. And everybody doesn't snap the ball the same way. It doesn't have the same feel. I played quarterback in high school, and my center from high school, we always laugh and joke, like we still have a really close relationship. He said, "Man, you're the only guy that's been that close to me, ever in my life." And whenever he wasn't my center, I could feel a difference in the ball and how it came up. He knew exactly where I wanted the ball to be and how hard I wanted to come up and those type of things. It made a difference. So, yeah, anytime you change the center position, you have a few mishaps. And we're in the shotgun a lot. We don't take the ball in the center as much. But even that, not everyone snaps the ball the same when it comes to shotguns and the same velocity and the height and those type of things as well. When you know where your quarterback wants the ball, you put it right where he wants it. And that takes some time to generate that.
Fred, before I dive in, first of all, for those who don't know, Fred White's in the Atlanta area. How psyched are you for the Renaissance World Tour this weekend?
I don't know.
The Beyonce concert. Beyonce's at Mercedes-Benz
I
Stadium.
knew exactly what you were talking about. But, back when I was younger, I might be happy because there's a whole lot of women going to be in town. Now
Are you saying
I could care less. Is Jay-Z going to be there?
Wait, you're saying you don't have your crystal bikini that you're going to wear to the concert?
I've seen Beyonce in concert with Jay-Z. I'm not going to see a Beyonce concert by herself.
I saw Beyonce in concert in 2000. I saw Beyonce in concert in 2007 when Robin Thicke opened up for her. Funny enough. So
was he on Growing Pains? Oh, no, that was his dad, Alan.
So back to football. Fred, we're talking about the fact that nobody has really developed behind Cooper Mays yet at center. They tried Addison Nichols. They tried Ollie Lane. I thought Addison Nichols had a lot of potential. For somebody like him, is it just a mental hurdle at this point, or is it possible that maybe he just wasn't as good as we thought he might be?
Well, some guys just aren't centers. I mean, you can't just make a guy be a center. He either is or he isn't. It's not like I said, it's not a plug and play position. You can't take a guard and say, well, he's going to be a good center, and he's never really snapped like that. And just because you may have played it in high school don't mean you can play it at the next level, because the responsibility is a lot bigger than what it would be at a high school level. You got to call to your guards and let them know what's going on, which guy you're going to help, what a linebacker sits. You got to find out those type of things. Who you going off of? Who's our strong side linebacker? Who's our weak side linebacker? You're going to be communicating a lot of those things at the line of scrimmage. It's not just to I'm snapping the ball. No, Can that guy actually snap the ball while the guy head up on him? Can he do that? You don't know if he can. That's the difference. You're not just snapping the ball. You got to be able to snap and be able to move without just seamlessly. You understand what I'm saying? And if you're not doing that on a regular basis, no. As soon as you take a center, as soon as the center changes in a game, if the center gets hurt in the game, watch the next play. And it's almost routine and guaranteed. The next play, they're going to put a nose tackle head up on him to see if he can do it. The very next play. If I'm a defensive coordinator, as soon as the center goes out, the very next play, I'm going to put a nose guard head up on him, and I might bring an A-gap blitz right beside it.
Yeah. This is not the same situation, but it might be similar from just kind of an emotional blow in the immediacy of it. When you guys lost Jamal Lewis, I've talked to you a couple of different times, and you haven't said that you guys were scared or anything, and you went down and handled Georgia, so that moved the train forward, and you realized that Travis Henry was maybe even better than you thought. But just that emotional blow, a couple of times when I've talked to you and on the Celebrate 98 series, I've noticed, and tell me if I'm reading too much into it, you guys were concerned. I mean, that was an elite player. You guys were kind of wondering about how good you were when Jamal Lewis got hurt.
And I'm going to say this with no disrespect to Travis and Travis. They showed to be great football players at University of Tennessee, and they both did a good job when they got their chance to shine by themselves. Jamal Lewis was a different beast. We knew what we had with Jamal Lewis. We knew we had the best running back in the country, hands down. And we felt like we were going to be able to – he may have been a Heisman Trophy candidate, if not win the Heisman that year. That's what we thought, because we knew we were going to run the ball and pound the rock. When he went down, we didn't know what it was in the locker room. It was the next week in practice, and we found out that he tore his ACL. So knowing that going into Georgia and they're a ranked team and we're playing on ESPN and everyone's picking us to lose anyway, yeah, it was tough. But we came in with the mindset next man is up. We knew we had some good running backs behind them. We didn't know how good they were going to be. But we knew if we had two guys that can do what Jamal Lewis did by himself, we have a great chance. And our line was good. And our defense, man, we thought, if you can't score, you can't win. Plain and simple. And I'm not going to tell you any lies. When it comes to Jamal getting injured, I got injured in that same game. I didn't even play in the Georgia game. So we were both going to get MRIs on our knees to see if we tore our ACLs.
Oh. Yeah, I knew you didn't play. I didn't know you were concerned it was that serious.
Yeah. I mean, I took a knee to the helmet to the knee, and I didn't play the rest of that Auburn game either, fourth quarter. And I'll never forget the Georgia game. I tried to go, but I knew that I hadn't torn my ACL. We both got MRIs, and I remember I went before him, and when he came back, that's when we found out he tore his ACL. Coaches told us, and I knew that already because I was on the same visit to the hospital that he was. So, yeah.
Fred, when a team's as talented as y'all's team was in '98, when you lose a star like that, because obviously you didn't just lose Jamal Lewis in the fourth game. That was heading into the year where you had to replace Peyton Manning at quarterback. Mm-hmm. I think of like something like Alabama going into this year having to replace Bryce Young. Do you think sometimes that can help because a lot of other players who may have been a little bit complacent relying on the stars are like, oh, I got to step up now because this superstar is out?
Well, there's no more watching. You're not going to watch on the sideline and you're going to get your job done. You're handling your business. I mean, I think football teams and football players, most athletes find any and everything to motivate them. I think knowing the fact that Peyton was gone and everybody was expecting us to be an 8-4 football team, I'm thinking, man, I'm better than 8-4 myself. So I don't know who you're talking to. You know what I mean? So that's.
Can I give a little background? Can I give a little background? So Philip Fulmer told you guys in the offseason, and he said he was serious, but you guys kind of think he was playing. We don't really know. He said that he thought the '98 team was about an 8-4 team or 7-5.
We were an 8-4 team at best.
Okay.
That's what he told us. He said that in the team meeting room. And I think that's the day we had that big brawl.
Yeah. So there's a story you need to definitely watch the Celebrate 98 series. When did we talk about the Big Brawl? Who was that? That was Spencer Riley.
I think that was either Spencer Riley or Jermaine Copeland. One of those guys brought it up, and I can't remember which one, but I remember Spencer Riley talking about it, extensively.
Yeah, it was Spencer. That one is just fantastic, and it's one of the newest. So check it out. Again, turn those notifications on, like and subscribe. This from the message board. Fred, you need to be on UT's coaching staff. I've never asked you this question. I don't know why. Did you ever consider coaching?
No, I like my time.
That's fair. Stuck. And you coached for a short time. Was it in high school? Was that?
Yep, CAK.
Okay, gotcha.
Christian Academy in Knoxville. And that gave me my introduction into coaching, and it made me realize once I'm done with this group of guys, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need it anymore.
And I mean this as a compliment, but Fred in recruiting would be like me. You're begging a 16, 17-year-old kid to come to your school. And if he said, I don't know, I'm thinking Georgia, I'd be like, fine, I got to go. I got to go recruit somebody else. I could not do that.
I think here's the difference, though. I watch football players. I watch the game. I watch what you do on the football field. I don't know if many coaches are still watching film. And I think a lot of guys are watching, this guy's a 4-star. This guy's he had these type of camp numbers. Hey, man, everybody you say is a 5-star is not a 5-star. If that was the case, they'd be first-round draft picks as soon as they get done, right?
Yeah.
How many 5-stars be first-round draft picks? Most of them are not. So all this hype, I look at film. What does he do? Is he the best football player on the football field? I don't care what his intangibles are. He could be 6'4", 260, can run a 4.3 40. How many sacks do you have? So you mean to tell me if you're in high school and you're that big and that fast and you don't have over 20-something sacks in the season, I don't believe that you're that good. I don't care how fast you run. There are plenty of guys who can do great at combine stuff. The NFL combine shows you that. I mean, so I'm looking at what you do on the football field. Can you get the job done? What I'm looking for, that's what I need. Okay, this guy can hold up the defensive end position. He can withstand the run. He can also read whether it's run or pass and get into his pass rush really fast. Does he have a good first step? Can he turn the corner? When he gets to the quarterback, what does he do? Same thing in the secondary. Does he have any ball skills? I don't care how big and fast he is. It's not making him. I need guys who can make plays. I don't care what your number is. Do you make plays on the football field? Plain and simple.
It's great stuff. Speaking of guys that make plays,
that's what Butch Jones did. Obviously, he didn't care about star ratings at all. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's sarcasm alert going on there.
I know offense. Well, yeah, I don't care if you take offense or not. He didn't have really good skills when it comes to recruiting. No, he might be good with the band, but he didn't know the football players. I guarantee you that.
Tennessee went through a 3-coach run where one recruited felons, the other
didn't bother to recruit.
Didn't bother to recruit. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. And the third couldn't evaluate talent. That's not good.